नमस्ते फ्रेंड, आप सभी का एक बार फिर से वेलकम। और फ्रेंड्स, बात करते हैं कि पिछले दिनों यानी 10 तारीख को 10 अक्टूबर को भारतीय मजदूर संघ और एनओबीओडब्ल्यू और बैंकिंग सेक्टर और इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर के प्रतिनिधियों की मुलाकात वित्त मंत्री से हुई। इसके बारे में फोटो शेयर भी मैंने भी किया था आपको, और उस मीटिंग का ब्रीफ नोट भारतीय मजदूर संघ ने रिलीज किया है 14 तारीख को। और वो पुरानी बातें उन्होंने दोहराई हैं कि हमारा डेलीगेशन इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर से, बैंकिंग सेक्टर से वित्त मंत्री से मुलाकात किया और वित्त मंत्री को उन्होंने धन्यवाद दिया कि उन्होंने बात किया। और ये मीटिंग 100 मिनट तक चली और उस बारे में बैंकिंग क्षेत्र की 5 डे बैंकिंग के बारे में गवर्नमेंट से उन्होंने आग्रह किया कि जल्द रिलीज किया जाए। बैंक पेंशन अपडेशन, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, ग्रेचुटी और विभिन्न मुद्दों पर उन्होंने बात किया। और इस तरह इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर के बारे में बात हुई। इसमें आरआरबी के प्रतिनिधि भी मौजूद थे। और कुल मिला के उनका कहना था, जो नटशेल में, कि वित्त मंत्री ने हमारी बातों को ध्यान से सुना और इस पर आश्वासन दिया कि हम इस पर जल्द से जल्द विचार करेंगे। आगे क्या होता है किसी को नहीं पता, लेकिन यह फैक्चुअल स्टेटस था। इस बारे में हमारे एक पेंशन एक्टिविस्ट बैंक के श्री एम सोमसुंदरम साहब ने इस पूरी मीटिंग के बारे में जो एनालिसिस किया है वो मैं आपको शेयर करता हूं। डेलीगेशन फ्रॉम बीएमएस मेट finance minister on 10th October 24. As given in the 2 communication by Bhartiya Mazdoor Sangh, we can come to know the depth of the issues we face now. What are the major issues represented for bank pensioners? First point, pension updation along with RBI lines of RBI. Second, health insurance at the cost of banks. Third, review of ex gratia in April 24. Fourth, calculation of pension and gratuity on a special allowance. Fifth, DA base year 2016 to all pre-November 2022 retired pensioners. Anomaly in the commutation recovery. Seventh, one more option to opt for pension to the few left out retirees. And 8, gratuity at the rate of 45 days for the service above 30 years. The first 6 demands are the major issue affecting the pensioner at present. One more major discrimination that they would have put up in the application of Gratuity Amendment Act uniformly to all industries, including to banks, on the same date. It comes into effect for central government pensioner. Okay, we need to project it as a major one and build up much more movement on it also. Hope of getting favorable verdict seems to be based on the false affidavit of the IBA before the Supreme Court. What is it? There is no pension updation provision in the pension regulation of BEPR 1995. Pension of those retired from 1st January 86 to 31st October 87, that is in the 4th BPS period, was updated as to 5th BPS scale when they were admitted to pension scheme. Also, the updation clause 35(1) was retained even in the amendment pension rules of 2003. That false affidavit will expose IBA as not able to defend its stand of non-updation and also presenting false affidavit at Supreme Court itself to hoodwink it. So pensioner have full eye on MC Singla case and built hope on the updation by the verdict of Supreme Court on it. Second, in 12th bipartite 9th joint note, IBA has agreed to insert periodic updation clause to insert in pension regulation BEPR 1995 within 6 months of the settlement dated 8 March 24, that is by the 8th September 24. IBA would have included the periodic updation of pension clause in BPER 1995, but failed to do it, and no voice from UFBU constituents as well as pensioner forums. Only now we come to know such clause. Why no responsibility on its own signature for execution has been resulted. Signature is fundamental in any mutual agreed contract and binding, but why not it is applicable to both parties in the contract, that is the 12th bipartite settlement and 9th joint note. Why UFBU has not taken any steps to demand it till date, and why pensioners forums have not represented IBA, DFS, UFBU pointing out their failing responsibility on it. It remains mysterious and painful on seeing such indifference. Third point, ex gratia. Instead of pension updation, IBA and UFBU has agreed to introduce ex gratia for pensioner. It was also agreed that ex gratia would be reviewed in April 24 and every year thereafter. But it has not been honored by both parties to the settlement and thereby depleting the payable ex gratia to pensioners. Fourth point, health insurance. The DFS IR number 14/7/92 IR volume 2 dated 24th February 2012 allocating welfare funds to banks has advised that instead of making direct payment of benefits to serving and retired employees, banks may consider the option of group insurance policies for both. It was based on Khandelwal Committee report in 2010, which was accepted by DFS. It earmarked spending of welfare fund as under 25% for children's education as a scholarship, 25% for employees medical and health care, 25% for pensioners medical and the health care, 25% on other schemes as to be decided by the board of the bank. How these 25% of welfare fund allocated to pensioners is being spent. To my RTI on the subsidy on medicines to policy B holders with an intention to demand its extension to all pensioners even though not covered by any health insurance. Bank had not disclosed it as if it fell on exemption clause. That's why the demand for the free health insurance for all pensioners as done to employees has been mooted by us for years. Has not the 25% of welfare fund enough for pensioners' health care and insurance premium? Unions, associations and pensioners federation should seek it for the welfare of pensioners who had been part and parcel of unions, association while in the service and now have been associated in the pensioner association. A valid ground to make at RTI query on pensioner welfare exists. What was the profit of the last financial year, say 22-23? How much allocated to welfare fund? How much appropriated to pensioner welfare? The list of expenses incurred, balance if any. How much carried over to next year of its disposal? Hope that Pensioner Federation may take care of it to ascertain the position and demand free health insurance out of welfare fund on its basis. M. Sumsundaram. सबसे दो इम्पॉर्टेंट बातें, पेंशन अपडेशन एंड हेल्थ केयर फॉर द रिटायरीज. जब तक दिस आर द फंडामेंटल नीड ऑफ द रिटायरीज, जिसको किसी भी कीमत पर फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर को मानना चाहिए ताकि लगभग 7 लाख जो पेंशनर्स हैं, बैंक पेंशनर्स हैं, उनका भला हो सके. थैंक यू फ्रेंड्स. नमस्ते.